This
Abinitio
conference
developer.
will now be recorded.
Yeah, thank you, Raghu. Okay, so I mentioned earlier, right? So if you want to go for Abinitio developer, you need to have three skills for sure. One is Abinitio GDE. Second thing is Oracle, at least select queries, DML operations, and Unix. General Unix, not very deeper shell scripting. General Unix, but need to have all the knowledge on the Unix commands. That is for sure. For these three, if you go for an interview, Anil, rate you out of 10 for Unix, rate you out of 10 for like Abinitio, and out of 10 for Oracle. Somebody will ask data warehousing concepts, and somebody will not even touch that part. Very less, very rare data warehousing concepts. Okay, so that is the rule, because if something need to be deleted or need to be copied with with other naming conventions, right? So you need to use backend thing, Unix only. You cannot do that things from in the front end with the help of GD. Okay, right? So you need to be clear. And moreover, I mentioned for Oracle, select queries are must. See, table is there. Okay, table is there. You want to extract the data from some table, right? So select star from emp, correct? Select star from emp. So if you want to apply for some alias conditions, right? If you want to apply some unional, right? For that, we need compulsory Oracle. And of course, as part of our development, right? Sometimes we need to do some configurational changes for the database setup. Okay, so once you're into some project, right, you will understand the role of database also. Okay, so let me think, and schedule is there. If you want to scale, like that schedule need to be given some inputs, or need to be deleted with some inputs. Okay, so if you want to add a delete means, you need to do it from the front end, you need to do from the back end also. Okay, so in that case, we will be adding few records or deleting few records in the table level, right? So that is needed. And in the same way, Unix also. Okay, so this application will allow us most of all the Unix commands except M commands. General Unix commands are supported here. Okay, so like no, I just logged into my Unix. Okay, so with what name I have logged in, I mean with what credentials I have logged in, with whose credentials, who am I, right? So I logged in with something like administration, right? Right, where am I? ls space, right? So if you provide ls space hyphen ltr, see, you can see your path. Okay, you can see your path and what are the details present in this path. Okay, when that was created means August 16th. Okay, August 16th, this four things are created. On July 15th, these things are created. Okay, sample one dot dat, sample, some files, some directories. Okay, some files, some directories. Right. So in presently you are in which path? PWD, present working directory. See there, mobile extreme. You are in the mobile extreme directory. Okay. So if you want to change to some directory, so in Windows, you are in this folder, correct? You are in this folder, C drive, right? So if you want to go inside of this D or inside of this files, what you will be doing? You will be double clicking, correct? Okay, but it's a Unix. It is totally command based. Okay, if you want to move to some other folder, right? CD space, my folder is sample. Right? Now you can say PWD. See there. Earlier that is home mobile extreme. Now it is home mobile extreme sample. I moved there because of cd command. Okay, so here what are the things present? ls space hyphen ltr. Okay, so I can see one file which is 0 byte file, and when was created, that is on July 15, and these are the permissions, who created that. Every detail you can see, ls space hyphen ltr. See, ls gives the list of the things present in your path. See there, I'm just giving ls enter. You can see only sample.dat, but by mentioning this ls command, I can see the I can see the thing what is present, but when it was created, who created, what is the byte size, right? So what is the permission I can see. So for that I can add some options also. ls space hyphen ltr, that gives a few options present in few options or few more info, regarding that file. Clear information, clear information. Okay, so I'm in which directory? pwd, MOBA, home MOBA extreme sample. So I want to create a file. Okay, I want to create a file, something like zero byte file. Okay, touch command touch space sample one dot dat, because already sample file is present here, right? Sample file is present here, it will not allow me. So I'm taking sample one dot dat, enter. Okay, so now put ls space hyphen ltr, it gives me all the details, right? See that. So it was created. Now it's sample one dot dat when, so July 16, sorry, August 16, that is created, and this is the permissions, these are the permissions. Okay, so you created a file. Now if I want to remove a file, that is rm command, rm space let me delete my old file, sample.dat. Okay, so what I have done to copy it, I have highlighted that. Okay, I have highlighted that. Some tech table support shift inside directly, see there. I have not done, I have not copied. Now if I highlighted a thing, if I highlighted a thing for the Unix, that means that is copy only. For pasting, shift, continuously shift in pressing and insert. Yeah, don't get confused. Okay, whoever new to Unix. Okay, right. So rm space. That was deleted actually. There was no issue came here, right? So ls space hyphen ltr. Now you can see. Now you can see. The only existing sample one dot dat. Okay, removing also there are some options. Okay, rm space hyphen I, okay, hyphen I space my file name is sample one dot dat. I want to remove this whatever created, right? See there, it will ask me, you want me to delete or keep it as it is. Okay, so mention as yes. Okay, now I put ls here, right? See there, nothing was there. So hyphen I represents, like asking for confirmation and deletion. Okay. So if I want to remove forcefully, okay, rm space hyphen rf, some file name. Automatically, f means forcefully, r means recursively, or from the roots. Okay. Oh, okay. So few files will be there. That may be temporary files. That may be any kind of files. Some files will not respond with our general rm command. Okay, so we are aware that file is not at all needed for any of the process. If you want to delete, right, you cannot delete. So in that case, you need to use this kind of command. rm command is having options. So like hyphen rf, hyphen I, and one more also there. Okay, so we'll discuss every command again under m commands. Prefix is m underscore, what I showed now, what I showed at m underscore touch, m underscore pw. So pw, that works, not m underscore pw. M underscore ls will be there, m underscore rm will be there, no, I want to create a directory. Okay, so where I'm in, as of now, where I'm done, pwd. Okay, I'm in a home mobile extreme sample is a directory, right? So that's why I moved inside that. Okay, I want to create a directory, one more directory in a directory. That means already I'm in a directory, right? Already I'm in a directory. I want to create a directory, no problem. mkdir space 9 am, right? Right, 9 am. So there are, like for creation of a path, there was some standards. The starting letter, there should not be any special symbols. Okay, like exclamation at the rate of, that is not supported. you know this is supported starting with some numeric or alphabetically supported for making directory, but not special characters. So in windows also, when you're trying to create a folder with some special character starting with the special character, it will not allow you. Same kind of things here also. See, windows is nothing but Unix only. That's a kind of Unix only. That base version is from Unix only. Okay, not any new thing. Okay, so like twd, I mean, sample path. Let me put ls space hyphen lt. It gives me total paths and the total, presence. See there, 9am. This was created. This was created. See, how can we tell this 9am is a path, not file? Means, see there, you can see here as D. Your starting with will be D. D means that's a directory. If you see a file, see that this is a file, right? You can see this is a file, right? You don't see D here. That would the at the place of D you can see hyphen. You can see some hyphen. Hyphen means that's a file. That's a file. 9am, right? Okay. So you want to see this is my path. 9am is I created path, and this is I want to give specific permissions to specific guys. Okay. So in that case, I need to use some command chmod. See, basically, if you observe this, right, RWX, RWX, RWX. We have discussed this point already in the time of first class itself, input file or output file level. So if you want to create a file with specific permissions, you need to provide, this kind of permissions in the UI format. There we are having checkbox option, right? So here also same thing, rwx. Okay, first rwx represents owners, main owners, like unix team, unix sa team, or unix owners. Next thing is a production support team. Next thing is a qa team, etc, etc. Right. So you want to limit the permissions. You want to limit the permissions to these two guys only, and for the other guys only read only kind of permission you need to provide. Okay. So for that, chmod 774. Okay, 9a. Right. So if I put ls ltr, you can see the read only permissions. Why? Because r represents with 4. Okay, 4. R represents with 4. Right. So 4 represents with the read only kind of axis. Okay, 2 represents with the write axis, and 1 represent execution axis. Okay, so usually in production also you will be having 4 and 1 permission, but not 2 permission, mostly for all of the paths. Why? Because nobody want to touch that. They can view the content present in the file also. That means read only permission. So I'm having a dm in the production, right? I want to view that. Yes, you can view it. When they were having read only permissions also fine. I mentioned, in order to log into production you need to have some extra permissions. Okay, but read only, that's fine, anybody can log in. I mean, that also need to have specific approvals, okay, to get the read only kind of access. Okay, so in this way I can change my things. So chmod permission set, that is applicable to path, to applicable to files, applicable to dml, any object you can change the permissions. No issue, no issue. Right. So I want to remove a directory. You created a directory. What is the directory? 9am. Right, you have used the mkdir and item. So in order to delete the directory, first you need to come back to the back, you need to come outside of the directory. Okay, I'm in the outside of directory. Okay, and moreover, while deleting a directory, one more thing also you need to remember is, in that 9am directory no files need to be present. If any single file, even temporary file present also, it will not allow you. Okay, you need to move that file from one path to another path, and you can make that. Okay, so since I want to make some copy, I want to move some mv, let me try that. Okay, so I'm in this path, sample path. Let me move to the 9am path. Okay, pwd. Right, I'm in the 9am path. Okay, so let me okay, so I want to see there, right? I'm having, after my home path, right, after my home path I'm having two folders or two paths I have gone inside. If you want to come to the home path, right, you need to come 2 steps back, correct? In that case, cd dot dot slash dot dot, right? See there, when I put the pwd, you can see over directly you move to the this path. Okay, so you can mention another slash, another dot dot also, no problem, no issue. Okay, so now ls space hyphen ld. Okay, so here I am having some sample, this is directory. Okay, so yes, one more file also there. Okay, one more file also there, sample1 dot. I want to copy. Okay, where I'm in the mobile extreme, which is my home path. I want to copy my sample1 dot dat file to 9am path. Okay, 9am path. Okay, so for that the cp space my file name. Okay, file name space my exact path, my path. So where is my path? Okay, this is my path. Okay, so that was copied, there was no error thrown. Okay, so now I'm in which path? My home path, right? So if you want to directly move to the last accessed path, so generally if you want to move to general path, right, so you need to provide this path, right? And so you need to provide this path cd space, right? So I need to move in this way. Okay, so you want to move to the last accessed path, means cd space hyphen. See there, that got already automatically moved to your last working directory. I'm in my home path, right? So now I'm in home path. Why? Because earlier I'm in 9am path. Now I'm in home path. I mean with the simple cd space hyphen provides the last path. Okay, so now again let me go to the again old accessed path cd space hyphen, right? See there, now I move to 9am path pwd. Let me put pwd. Right, so simply if you want to go to the old path, right, cd space hyphen. Okay, so coming to the ls space hyphen ldr, now I can see my sample, right, sample1 dot dat, because I mentioned cp, right? I mentioned cp command, so because of that only that is copied to my 9am location, right? Come one step back, cd space dot dot enter. When I'm trying to remove this directory, rmdir sample1 dot dat. See that. So 9am, right? I want to delete the path, right? Okay, rmdir 9am, right? See that it is not allowing me a directory not empty. Remember, if you want to remove a directory, right, it will not allow. Why? Because 9am is, it is having some file which is sample1 dot, right? So let me go to the 9am path, 9am, right? rm my file, right? So now put lsf and here you can see some nothing. So usually you can see total 0. Okay, the output will be usually total 0. So data, so now go one step back, cd space dot dot, one step back. Okay, that means one step back, pwd. You can see now sample, one step back. Now you can remove that 9am, that was removed. If I put lsf and ltr, right, okay, there was nothing actually. Earlier there is 9am, right? Now there is no 9am, that was deleted, right? Right. So in this way we can create directory, guys. Remember, we can create, Anil, you mentioned earlier we cannot create directory. So we can create directories, right? Yes, where it means in the serial file system you can create directories, serial file system. Okay, and in every project there will be temporary, like locations or paths in which production support team will not be having access to SITR development servers. Remember, okay, they don't have access to the SITR development servers, but they will be having some path called NAS path, which is a common path between multiple servers. Okay, so let me think. You want to copy a file from the dev to production. Okay, okay, or production to dev. Okay, as I mentioned, we'll be raising inc, correct? So if you mention some other paths in the development level, they don't have access. They will be placing the file in some NAS location, okay, which is temporary location in between the two servers. From there, we need to do the CP command. We need to do the CP command. That is the thing. So as I mentioned earlier, production support team will copy with the help of NC, means yes, they will be copying, but they will be having their own restrictions. They will not, they will not have lower level environment. We will not be having higher level environment access. They will be not having lower environment. So wantedly, only L3 team will be having full access to the total project. Any application, right? They are, because they are the analysis guys. Okay, they don't work on the development part. They will work only on the issues. They will be working only on this packages also, right? L3 and development team will be having same packages. Our L3 team can ask more packages. Why? Because they need to do analysis. If you see, if I have done some development, if an issue, right, I can easily find out that, and I can do the needful. But L3 team, they don't have any idea on the code. Okay, they will be aware of Abinitio. They will be aware of the process. They will be having the full access. Okay, they need to identify the issue and they need to fix. Okay, okay, so that is the thing. So L3 team can have more package better than the dev team. Actually, they need to know some other code and they need to work. Actually, of course, that is their role. They can understand that. Okay, so rmdir and mv command. Okay, mv command. So where I'm in a sample path. Okay, come one step back by because my sample file is present in my home path. Okay, so ls space hyphen lt. Right. So one file is present here. One file is present here. You need to move this file to sample path. You are in which path? You are in the PWT. You are in the mobile extreme home path. Okay, mobile extreme path. So you need to move this file, or renaming is also possible. With the mv command, you can rename the file or you can move the file also. Okay, so for now, let me move this file mv space sample1 dot dash. Okay, you need to move it to mobile extreme sample to the sample folder ultimately. Okay, okay. So now same way, ls space hyphen ltr, you can see the same sample one dot dat. Okay, same sample one dot dat, when it was created on July 15th, the same naming conventions with the same timestamp also, that will be copied. Don't get confused. Sometimes, when you are copying the file from the dev to production, timestamp does not change. Sometimes, I don't say every time. Okay, sometimes it will not change. Don't get confused. That's why we need to identify whether you copied the file, latest file or not. With the bytes only you can identify. Sometimes, I don't say every time. Sometimes you can see, I see this kind of behavior. Okay, so 0 bytes. So if a small change in the file happen, as I mentioned, in the place of Anil Kumar, capital A, small a, there will be compulsory change in the bytes here. Okay, so we can rely on the bytes, no problem. We can rely on the bytes change. When file is copied, before copying, that is 1234 bytes. Okay, after copying, that is 1267 bytes. 1267 bytes, that is a dev level. 1267, you after production in the uh, that is also 1267 with the old timestamp value, no issue. Because in the dev level, the timestamp, basically that will be overridden to the latest timestamp. If not overridden, don't get confused, go with the bytes. Okay, so these are the usual scenarios I faced when I'm in the earlier into the development level, when I'm around 7 years, 8 years back, right? So these are the observations. So why I see old kind of timestamp only as good new, right? So at that time I see, right? So I would I raised some INC to product support team. I want this command. Okay, so give me this output. So I can see everything is set. Okay, so whatever development is there, they copied that, but timestamp got not changed. Okay, so I asked them provide this cat command. Let me think for some DML. I asked to copy. Right. So they given the cat command. Everything is same. Okay. At that time, I would I realized. Okay, so we can rely on the byte size. Now sometimes that may copy, that may happen or not. Timestamp change or not. Okay. So MV. So I'm going one step back. This is where hyphen LTR. Right. You don't see that one. Sample one dot. Why? Because MV command that is used to move a file from one location to another location. Okay. So that's why earlier we are having in the home path. Now in the same home path you don't find, because that is moved to the sample path. Let me show you. CD space sample. Okay, so ls space -ltr. You can see that sample path, I mean sample file. Okay, no, Anil, I want to rename that. As I mentioned, mv space my file, old file name, and what is the new file name you want to make it as? Sample dot right? So if you put lsf and ltr, you don't see one sample one. You can see sample only. You can see sample only because you renamed that mv command. Okay, so df command. Df is disk free. How much disk free available, right? Df enter. So you can see this is like some bytes. Bytes are kbs kind of format. That should be bytes only. If you provide df space hyphen h, that in the gbs you can see. Okay, total size is total size is 52 GB, used 11.6 GB, available 40 GB. Okay, so du disk used, du space hyphen h, give directly h. You can see 0 bytes was used. Okay, whatever total available, that is total till available. Okay, nothing was used here. Du dh. Okay, so like usually other kind of commands you will be using kill command. Okay, kill space hyphen id number. Okay, id number, kill space hyphen id number, enter. Okay, kill space hyphen 9 id number. Okay, id number. So hyphen 9 represent, that is like forceful killing. Okay, so Anil, you mentioned id. From where I can get that id? Correct. So let me think. One of the processes running in the production from long time, or in the dev and sat also. Okay, so how can like one of the schedule what I triggered. Okay, so you can see that naming conventions of the graph, right? So put some top command top, enter. See there, you can see pid, process id, ppid, user. Okay, so you can see here how much percentage of memory is using. Okay, percentage, right? So based upon that, you can kill that. Okay, so if I want to kill this, right, which is second one, a second kill 130 is the right. See that, no, that got came also. So control c. Okay, let me think. I'm putting some command. Okay, command. So unknownly there was some typo error. So you need to go back like this. You can put control c. That will the abort of that respective line. Control c, right? That is like aborting of that respective line. Okay, so when I put the top command, it will be monitoring continuously. It will be monitoring continuously. Basically this command will be used by production support team, because they only need to monitor for the space issues. Okay, okay, so there lot of responsibilities from the product support team also. See that now that got changed, refreshed automatically that got refreshed, right? So 12.7 is there, right? If you wait, that may be changes, right? See that 12.4. Right. So like production support team will be taking care of these activities. Top command looking into the like df, du, and top command. From our level, if any process is running long time, and if like if you killed that in the gde, and it will not, sometimes it will not respond. In that case, you need to kill it from backend, right? So if you log into the dev server, and if you put this top command, you can see the list of processes that is running. Okay, the naming convention itself you can understand. Okay, see that you can see top command, right? That also some process it is taking, right? Some process, whatever process running, the total process, you can see here total process. Top command, I mentioned some command, it is still running. See that it is running with some id, right? So it will be running continuously. Top command will be showing the status of the respective your server status actually. Okay, so if you want to come out of that, control c. In the same way how you come back with some type error, right? Same, control c, right? So any other we use is okay, this we have done rmd. Okay, so we'll be going through our actual m commands. If anything missed also, there we can cover. Okay, so going back to our commands, various commands. Yeah, Okay, so basically, like where are you typing these comments? My Unix comments is there, right? My Unix comments is there, right? I'm typing in putty only, puttier tectia. Okay, puttier tectia. For m comments also I will be using same puttier tectia. For air comments also I will be using same puttier tectia. Then how like Unix OS knows, okay, I need to connect to the multiple system, right? I need to connect to the AME, correct? So that's why there are prerequisites while working with the m commands and air commands. For Unix commands there is no kind of prerequisites. Okay, so prerequisite is only if you need to find that commands in the serial file system. I mentioned this point in the starting of the session, right? So if you want to put some commands, those are general commands in the serial file system. Okay, now till now what we discussed is general commands, and I to use some general file system, general which is serial file system. Okay. So now we are trying to work on the m commands, correct? So let me, okay. Okay, so while working with the m commands, there is prerequisite actually. Okay, m underscore. What is that means? First point is we need to fire commands in multi-file system. Maybe two-way, maybe eight-way, 16-way, four-way, five-way, seven-way, any kind of command, m command, but that should be in multi-file system only. You cannot fire general commands in the serial file system. Okay, second point is once before starting your m commands you need to go to your cd my path. Okay, so I mentioned earlier what is your multiple system path. Dollar a underscore mfs, correct? A underscore mfs, we are aware, usually dollar a underscore serial means that is the short form for very big path. Okay, okay. Those are called environmental variables. Dollar conventions are called environmental variables. So if I want to save a DML, as I mentioned yesterday, right, dollar a underscore DML I will be providing and I will be saving that. Okay, so who will route that, right? Who will route that DML to respective very big path means how this is a serial. Okay, so that will be home. Okay, Abinitio. Okay, Abinitio slash sources. This is my kind of path. This will be to denote it in short form by a serial. The same way, dollar a underscore mfs. Okay, this absolute path we will be calling this as absolute path. Okay, this absolute path may be in such a way slash home. Okay, slash home slash Abinitio slash sources slash 8-way 8-way. Okay, so this is you know this one will be represented. Absolute path is this. If you want to move to this path, you don't need to provide all this path. Okay, very simple. Okay, cd space right, cd space automatically my command will be moving this to this path automatically, right? So what is the prerequisite? So and you need to fire commands in multi-file system. For that you can directly put a underscore mfs. Okay, a underscore mfs when you logged into certain things. Okay, so I'm firing the same command Unix commands in the same putty. I'm firing the same m commands in the same putty. I'm firing the air commands. Okay, air commands in the same putty. Right. So how can we identify is how Abinitio or like Unix file system identify is, first thing is we need to find the multiple system. Second thing is export to space dollar ab underscore home. Okay, we need to fire this command. After that only, if you fire any of the m commands, it will be get identified. Okay, okay, prerequisite, there is prerequisite, I'm mentioning that clearly. Okay, right. So amfs am I mean, we need to put in the mfs path, and you need to put this command. After moving to that part, you need to put the export space $ab underscore home. Else, the exact error is, m underscore command cannot be identified. This is the exact error. Okay, if you put without mentioning export space $ab underscore home, if you put any of them command, you can see error m underscore command cannot be identified. Remember this point. These are the two prerequisites before starting the general m commands. We need to know everything from the basic. That is the intention. Explaining each and everything. Okay. Okay. Moving to my first command. Okay. Cat command. What is cat
Anil,
command?
quick question. So the AB
Yes, yes.
underscore home, right? What do you configure there?
Not we. Abinitio admin team. A underscore DML,
Yeah,
A
what is
underscore serial, A underscore MFS. Okay. So that is their role, right?
AB underscore home? I'm asking.
That is the thing, Lava, right?
Yeah.
Lava, that is the mentioning. That is the role of Abinitio admin team. Okay. So we are having some file which is, like Abinitio RC file. Those kind of settings will be done in the Abinitio RC file. Even you don't have access to open that also. Even cat also you cannot do that. Okay, that is Abhinish admin team role. That's not our role. And what is present in that also I'm not. Okay, so where that also, since you asked, right? Where we need to configure means that we will be configured in the not we, those team. They will be configuring in the Abhinish RC file. You see, if you want to see that those kind of files are right, so you need to put ls space hyphen ltra. See there. Now I'm in which path? I'm coming to some back. Okay, so let me put LSF and LTR. I'm in the home path, right? I'm in the home path. For LSF and LTR, I got one, two, three, four, five total. Maybe directory, maybe listing, anything, right? So let me put ls space hyphen LTRA small a. You can see there two new extra dot dot, because this is not related to our work. That is the intention. Nobody will provide you access, or see there rwx. Okay, you can see here these two things what appeared now itself, right? So you can see rwx. Rwx, that means production support team does not have read-only kind of access also, even other teams which is development team, q team also, because we are not the guys even to touch that. That is strictly restricted. Okay, that is strictly restricted. You don't have access. What is Abhinish RC file also, you even cannot cat that. Okay, what is the content present in that also, you are not aware. Configuring, right? Configuring a new eme, configuring this kind of things, setting this kind of things, no, it's not our role. We are the end users only. See there, I provided ab underscore home here. Okay, in my last project, my present project, same conventions. But in my, when I'm working with the air commands, there also need to go with some export. In my last project, I'm having one kind of exporting. In my present project, I'm having one kind of export. Okay, so setting this kind of things will be done by the Abhinish admin team, and we are the end users. That's it. Clear, Lava? Okay, coming back to comments. So cat command. What is cat command? If you want to view a content of the file, cat space DML. Let me think. If you want to view the DML in the Unix system, cat space DML. That provides a list of the total whatever I have saved that. So if you want to do the same thing in the multi-file system level, m underscore cat, right? M underscore cat. Right. So one more thing present here, interview question. Anil, I want to view the content of the file in the multi-file system. But in the place of m underscore cat, I provided cat command. In the place of m underscore cat, I provided cat command. What is the observation? Answer should be partial output will be shown. Partial output means you can see here ABC, right? For this also you can see ABC, right? So in the next one, in the next time, if you put that command, you can see AB only. For the next cat command, next time if you fire, you can see AC only. For the next cat command, you don't see any data also. My command will not throw any error. It will show me partial data. Partial data means that may be full amount of data, that may be half amount of data, that may be zero data also. That's why be clear, when you're firing an multi-file system, you need to go with the __ commands only. If you put general command also, it will not throw any error. It will not throw any error. That you can see the partial output. Okay, something like that. Okay, so of course we will be discussing this point in the next level. Okay, cp command. What is cp? It is used to copy the file from one level to another level. With the help of this, I can copy some any Abinitio object from one path to another path. Okay, so copies one or more serial files or multi files. Okay, so of course if you want to copy the things in the this level, EME level, yes, there we are having here object cp, here em_cp, multiple system level operation. ls is command, so we have seen n number of times now ls command, right? So ls space, it lists it lists files, multi-files, directories, multi-directories. Okay, so -ltr m_space m_, ls space -ltr also support. Okay, rm command, we have removed few directories, few files, right? Yes, so m_rm. So as I mentioned, -i -f -r, combination of these three also I can use. See there, these are the individual one. In my command level, I have used R and F. That means I have combined two things into a single command. If you want to combine three things also, no issue. Based upon that, it will remove forcefully, it will ask, it will remove from roots or recursively, and it will take confirmation. Everything will be performed based upon the options you provide for RM command, right? See, basically what we have discussed is 70 to 80% already we have discussed, but here only m_ is the prefix. Okay, m_ chgrp, like sets the permissions of the ownership. We don't have access for this thing. Unix asset team will be having this kind of things. Okay, we can use chmod command, but the chgrep even I have not used, because changing the, I will be having the need to change the permissions of a file, but not the change the permissions of a group. Okay, so as per my understanding, like my credentials will not be having that kind of permissions to change permissions for a group. Okay, so chmod, we have seen 777 etc. Same command, see m_chmod 777, absolute path of the file, test.mp, 777 permissions. df command, m_df, we have seen. du command, m_du, we have seen, right? See, m_expand, this is new things. So here in the m_ commands, you are going to learn only 3 or 4 new commands. Everything is same. Okay, that's why I mentioned 70 to 80% already you are aware, if you are aware of Unix commands. Okay, so m_expand. So basically, see there, prints information about a file or a multi-file or a directory or a multi-directory. So basically information means, you can see here multiple options. m_expand file name. Okay, you can see here options. Okay, options, option -n. So here I am having different options. -host prints the host names of the computer on which partitions are residing. Okay, m_rf, mf. Okay, so -mfs prints the urls of the multi-file system. Urls of the multi-file system. -m prints the number of partitions. I'm having a file sample1.dat, which is present in the multi-file system, so right, so I want to know the what is the depth of that file. -n prints the number of partitions. See that, prints the urls of the partitions. This prints the urls of the multi-file system. This prints the urls of the partition. In one of the like interview question to me, so Anil, I'm having a multi-file system. Okay, I'm having a multi-file system. I want the multi-file system data which is present in the second URL, second path. So four-way multi-file system means four sample .dat files will be created. We have seen that practically. So there I want to get the command. I want to see the data of, I want to see the data of second partitions sample dot dat, not everything. If I put sample m underscore cat space sample dot dat, every partition level data will be retrieved and shown to me. But no, I want only second partition level data. In that case, what I will be doing, m underscore expand space hyphen paths space file name. So this give me the all the URLs. So there I will be picking the second URL, right? M underscore cat space, right? M underscore cat space with the second URL slash sample dot dat. Automatically now second URL data won't be retrieved. So m underscore expand, this gives the information, not the data, guys, not the data. For viewing the data, m underscore cat command only. For copying the data, m underscore cp command only. First, as per my question, I want the second URL data to see, m underscore cat space. So I need a second URL. For before using m underscore cat, right? First I need to use the m underscore expand command, get the number of URLs, right? Prints the URLs of the partition. From there, second URL I need to pick, and I can do the second URLs, m underscore cat space second URL slash sample dot. Automatically second URL data only will be retrieved. M underscore expand. Okay, so making directory, removing a directory, we have seen m underscore is the thing. Okay, m underscore mkdir, create a multi-file multi directory in a multi-file system. M underscore mkdir, as I mentioned, right? We may create or we may not create, because as I mentioned, we will be having the access to create in the serial file system only. I tried that practically, but not in the multi-file, because that is loading purpose only will be using. Loading purpose only will be using for our general multi-file system. Serial file system, for my making my general tectia kind of operations also, I will be using my general serial file system only. Okay, m underscore mkfs, creating a multi-file system. As I mentioned, n plus one URLs I need to provide. So first URL will be control file, next URLs will be data files. Okay, mv command, if you want to rename a file or move a file from one location, right? M underscore m. Okay, so m underscore rmd, to remove a directory. You created this one, right? If you want to remove it, m underscore rmd removes a empty directories or multi directories. RMFS, so creating a multi-file system. I mean, multi-file system directory level. Total deletion of a multi-file system. Touch command, so we have to touch, so that is used to remove a that is used to remove an 0 byte file present in the multi-file system. Why? Because if a file is created, we are aware, if it is 4-way multi-file system, 4 levels that will be created. If you want to delete that, right, if you need to use m underscore touch, or you need to use m underscore rm only, right? Okay, so something I want to highlight regarding m underscore cp command, guys. One of the interview question, m underscore cp. Okay, that is in back page. Okay, so Anil, I'm having a 2-way multi-file system and I'm having 4-way multi-file system in my project. I want to copy a file from 2-way to 4-way. Okay, so right, so if you mention m underscore cp space absolute path of the two-way path slash sample dot dat space absolute path of the 4-way dot dat, you are gone. M underscore cp command, it copies the file from and to with the same depth level. Your source is 4-way path, your target also should be 4-way. Your source is 2-way, your target also should be 2-way only. Don't forget that. And in that case, what I need to do, I got this kind of scenario in my project. Need to use our ETL tool only for that purpose, right? So we have seen, I've taken one input file and one output file. I have taken 2-way multi-file system, I mean serial file system. I have taken 4-way multi-file system or 2-way multi-file system. When I'm copying that, I'm facing some same depth issue, 1 and 2 or 1 and 4. I've used some partition component to do that. Nothing other than that. Nothing, as far as per my understanding, knowledge, that is the only option we need to do. If you want to copy a file from serial file system to multi-file system, right, only option is your GDE tool only, because we are having partition components to set the depth issues. Okay, so like my scenario I mentioned, right, the same scenario I have written it, and practically mention hyphen paths, etc. Right? Okay, so m underscore dump command. Actually, this is not a simple command, guys. M underscore dump, right? I mentioned, 70 to 80% you are done, and 20 to 30% you are remaining, right? Out of the 20 to 30%, this is the 20%. M underscore dump is 20. So this is not a simple command. This is a utility. This is not a simple command. This is a utility. You are having n number of users with the m underscore dump command. First one is, I'm having a file which is sample.dat file. I'm having sample.dat file. If you want to cat that file, right? If you want to view the content of the file, cat space, sample.dat. If I put enter it automatically, I can see the content of the file. What is the present in? But I'm having a requirement. I want to see that along with the header. I want to see that file along with the header. What is header? Like, if you see our file, right? When I open your file, right click and view data, you can see some header, serial number, name, right? For my customer file. So in the same way, if I want to view the data along with the header for my easy comparison, I want the header. Yes, that is possible with the help of only m underscore dump command. For that, the syntax is m underscore dump space absolute path of the DML. Of course, not only absolute path, a underscore DML also fine. Okay, so m underscore dump space DML path along with the DML file space, right? So file name, right? So automatically file name, right? So here I'm providing the DML of that respective file, and here my file name. So I want to view the customer file data. So here I will be providing my customer file DML space my actual file name. If I put enter right automatically, header you can see my DML, down to that from the second row you can see your actual data present in my file. Of course, guys, this is m command. This will be helpful in the general serial file system. In general serial file system, I don't know whether that kind of things is available or not, because very rare kind of thing. This is used for m underscore dump command, used for only for debugging purpose, not for general operation. General operation is the CP, MV, RM. That is general operations. Okay, this is m underscore dump is an utility that is used for analysis purpose. Okay, so if you want to view the content of the file along with the DML, m underscore dump space or DML path space file path. Okay, so I'm having one more requirement. Anil, I want to view the content of the file along with the DML, but I out of 100 records, I want to see the things from 44th record to 54th record. That means 10 records. For that, m underscore dump space DML path space hyphen file name space hyphen start 44 space hyphen end 54. Start and end. Start and end. So basically, if you want to see the in between data in the serial file system, right? You will be using header and tail, head and tail. But here you don't know to use head and tail. Here you are having the right option hyphen start hyphen end from 44th position to 54th position. Position means number of records. Okay, so Anil, I want to retrieve, my graph failed with, error in the 54th record. So we have seen practically that kind of, bad assignment in the record 7. We have seen that kind of things also. I want to view that 7th record particularly in my Unix level for my comparison. Comparison is that, I'm having DML 6 columns. In my actual record, I'm having 5 columns or 4 columns. Right. So I want to see that from backend, which is in the multifile system. So, right, you can see here m underscore dump space DML path space data file path hyphen record fifth record that got failed, right? If you mention here in the place of n, in the place if you mention 5, fifth record will be retrieved along with the DML. Now you can easily compare what things are missing. Usually, even though you identified, right, you cannot change. Why? Because as per the stream that should come, as per the upstream downstream that should come. If any the records are failed with, right, malformed records, we need to check with our source team only. I mentioned this point earlier. But in order to identify what is the exact things that got missed for our analysis purpose only, record, only one record. If you want to get in between records, that's possible. If you want to get only one record, that is possible. Okay, so I'm having a file, guys. I'm having a file. That file, I want to see the data with only salary greater than 1000, salary less than 1000. That means select conditions in the table. How do we select star from emp, where e name is equal to Alan, where e name is equal to Ford, where department number is equal to 10. Yes, that kind of opportunity also we're having here. See that m underscore dump space dml path space data file, right? Right, hyphen select where my condition, where e name is equal to Alan, where e name is equal to Anil, where department number is equal to 10. Yes, that also things also possible. Selecting the few kind of records only, not in the table. This is in the file system. This is in a certain file. This is in a certain file. So how do we do these kind of things in the, generally in the Unix file system is we will be using grep command. Grep is used to view the and search for the pattern and getting that into my output. Okay, get into my output. Right. So same thing here. You can usually directly see the option hyphen select. Right. So this is about our m underscore dub. Okay, so three or four kind of things. Okay, so if you see in the help file, there may be few more things. I have used only few this kind of things in my project. Okay, open help file, put m underscore dub. Yeah, see that, that's utility I mentioned, right? That's utility, not general command. See there, arguments or for printing, these are the arguments you can use for like for record, like record hyphen n hyphen record n, right? So if I want to get a, right, so data to print, selecting data to print, right? So this is utility, not a small thing actually. That's what I mean to say. That's why I opened this one. So see the hyphen show hyphen partial prints incomplete record. That means I'm having that in the next page. Okay, so I'm having malformed records. Before starting off my file, before starting off my day, execution, I want to see the partial data. That means any malformed records are present, means this is the command. Let me show you. Right. How to get the malformed records in your file? M underscore dump DML path data path hyphen show hyphen partial. Automatically, this provides the malformed records in the total list. Total list you can show you. Okay, so I'm having compressed data. I'm having compressed data which is .gz file, which is .gz, which is my file is multifile. My file is multi-file. I want to view the content of the file. How can I do is first I need to decompress it, right? M underscore dump space DML path data path hyphen decompress. Say utility, not one or two uses, not one or two uses. It is decompress. That should be in the selecting of the data. Hyphen partitioning is decompress. Printing data, right? Printing decompress enables you to view the data in compressed file, including block compressors. That means .gz files is there. .gz files is there. If you want to load the file into multi-file system, we can load the data compressed file also in the multi-file system, no issue. But if you want to view the data, okay, you can use it decompress. It will decompress and leave the, like it will view the data. Right? So the m underscore dump is a not small general command, that's a utility. M underscore db also, it's a utility as I mentioned earlier, right? So m underscore eval. Okay, so like in the GDE, when you're putting some condition, if else condition or something like Feb 30. Okay, you want to convert the date something like Feb 30. You want to use the date Feb 30. That is not possible. That is not possible. Abinitio, it will throw error. While evaluation, it will throw error. If you want to know the exact thing, if you want to evaluate from the backend before using in the command, yes, you can use m underscore eval. The command what you want to evaluate whether that is correct or not. M underscore eval. M underscore env hyphen v. Get the version of the EME. use it to get the version of the EMB. WC command, what is WC command? It is used to view the number of lines in a file, number of words in a file, number of characters in a file. So if you want to see that, right, m_wc-l. It provides a m_wc-l file name. It provides number of lines in a file, WC number of words in a file, -c number of characters in a file, right? Right, in this way. Right. So earlier, like earlier, what happened? I have mapped my. That's my mistake actually. In my present project, when I'm like around 3-4 years back, I'm not aware of much things, right? So in the database setup, I have done something wrong. I have mapped one kind of load or unload need to be happen to one kind of file. So unknowingly, I have done the setup wrong. I have done the setup wrong. Okay. So my file is execution, my graphics execution, everything is correct, but users are unable to see the data correctly. Okay, users are unable to see the data correctly, so they came back to me, Anil, the data is correct, my graph is execution successful. I'm not aware of that respective things, right? So at that time L3 team came into picture. I told you L3 team, they will be having full kind of access, they will be having much knowledge well compared to some application, right? So they came back to me, Anil, you are mapping the source to the wrong target file. Okay, so how they identified, my source is unloading like 1 million records. My target is unloading after transformation. They're expecting some records, right? It is coming with more number of 1 million. See, sort component. It provides the actual data, right? So if I go with some transformation, that will be less than or more. That will be less than that 1 lakh records. Here they are seeing more than 1 lakh records in the target location. Okay, so they are getting confused. So at that point of time, they came back to me, Anil, check that setup, right? So they all advised me, right? So when you are into a project, right, it will take at least 6 months to understand the total flow. Okay, Abinitio is different and getting the idea on the project flow is different, I'm telling you. But when you are when you are into one Abinitio role, right, the same kind of rules, set of instructions will be used in some other project also, right? I've seen that practically. If you are aware of one project, right, the same kind of things will be used in some other project also. Code is different, transformations is according to the client, but backend setup, everything is same. Okay, so in this way, like they came to me, Anil, they use m_db wc command and -l file name. So that is giving more than 1 lakh record. So they given the proof to me, Anil, you from that is issue from your end only. That's not behavior of the environmental issue. That is your issue only, right? So input is 1 million records, output is I'm getting more than 1 million. So if some transformation is happening, that will be, if I'm going with 1 million records, that will be less than 1 million, equal to 1 million. How you are getting more than 1 million? Until unless you use normalize with multiplication of data, correct? So at that point of time, I have seen the setup, database setup was given wrong from my end. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so m_db, that's an utility, guys. As I mentioned, let me open, for example, you can see m_db gen dml. I've shown you practically in the time of database commands, so database explanation. Test, so m_db test also we have seen. Usually these are the two commands, or one or two commands extra we'll be using in our daily life. But m_db is utility. As I mentioned earlier, whatever you can do in the Oracle developer or Toad tool to interact with your SIT or production, that you can do with the help of your dbc file also. Your dbc file is given with username and password, right? That username and password need to have that kind of credentials. Okay, that kind of permissions that need to have. Okay, you can alter a table, you can delete a table, okay, or you can change something in the table, or you can delete a column. Anything is possible, but with the -db command, you can say -select. Let me show you once. That's not a small thing. That's not a small thing, right? So see, all these are different commands only. M_create, it is used to create a table. Okay, it will be used to create a table. So in the same way, commit table. Okay, so earlier I mentioned in the update table component, so I will be using commit table to store the commits. Okay, in order to create the table, that is not a general table. See there, m underscore db space create commit table, something table name, so some syntax here. This will be taken care of, like a database tip, no need to worry. Okay, so I want to create my dbc file from backend, no problem. You can see here, utility will be there. Config, okay, gen cfg generating config file. See there, hyphen oracle, right? So we have selected this. I have selected oracle while creating same kind of thing, same kind of thing, right? You can create from backend also with the help of this m underscore db gen cfg. Okay, so of course, you want to generate a ddl. Okay, dml we have seen. If you want to generate a ddl for a table, yes, that is possible. If you want to, list utility, okay, see there, you can see the list utility, how many things are there. Hyphen all objects, hyphen alias, hyphen views. You can create a view also. Your credentials need to have that kind of capability. Okay, m underscore df, m underscore db, load, unload, right? Truncate utility, some utility. See the total m underscore db commands. Okay, remember this point, m underscore db utility command. See there, you can see here n number of things, m underscore db. So here you can go with one example. Okay, you can go with one example. That m underscore db test, m underscore db run, right? So all kind of thing you can go through with some each example. You can see with each example, see that everything you can see with some example, every command. That's why I mentioned earlier, if you're having a question in the Abinitio, you don't need to reach out to any other guy. First your help file, after that your colleague, after that some Google Forms. Okay, from mentioning in some online level. Okay, so basically, hide your details while mentioning in the Google level. Why? Because so if somehow, if my client also have the same same got the same doubt, and he has seen the name, right? So he will be doubted you. Go with some general, some other, you know your wife's or your daughters or some other Gmail kind of thing, and you can post that. Best thing. Why? Because no client content should be mentioned. Okay, so I want to make some transformation, I want to do something in my level. You have got some doubt and nobody's aware of that. If you post that, right, so that is nothing but the client transformation, how that is happening. You are letting out the project content, how the transformation one of the part, right? That is also violation only. That is not recommended actually. But if you want to post that, right, yes, you can post, but let's use some other Gmail ID for that purpose. Okay, so suggestion. Okay, so m underscore db, there's a total utility. Here I have given one or two examples. I can skip here, but I shown you at least opening few things. Okay, so m underscore password, see, welcome 12345 is your password. As I mentioned, every 3 months or 6 months there will be change in the password from the database team. Okay, database team. So if they provide password, right, you cannot provide welcome 123 password directly in your dbc file in the Unix level. Okay, you need to encrypt that. That's a standards. Why we need to encrypt, Anil? Directly if I provide a welcome 123, yes, that works, your dbc file works, but that is not the standards. That is not the standards. Project will be having separate standards, I mentioned, right? According to that only we need to follow, right? If anybody viewed that, again, that's a headache. So Anil provided directly password without encrypting, right? So that's why I'm mentioning the point m underscore password. See there. So you can see the password. Thing is 355 anything is my password. I want to encrypt that. For that, m underscore password hyphen unrestricted and hyphen unrestricted hyphen password. Right. So for 355 anything is my password. That was converted into, see that, hexadecimal characters. Okay, around hexadecimal characters, and it having both alpha and numeric characters. Alphabetical numeric characters. If I use this thing in my dbc file, my my Abinitio will be able to connect it to my database. No issue. As per the standards, you need to go. Okay. Next is air commands. We have discussed m underscore dump, decompress, and hyphen show partial. This is our M commands. See here, very important thing we need to remember while going for the interviews. First is M command, sorry, M underscore dump command. First is M underscore dump command. Second is M underscore DB command. Third is M underscore expand command. Remaining things are very, very, very small. Very, very, very small. Already I shown you everything in a Unix general Unix serial commands. Want to same perform the same thing in the multifile command. Prerequisites are this. After that, based upon m underscore cat, you can use m underscore cp, you can use m underscore mv, you can use. As I mentioned, if you are putting some cp command in multifile system, okay, one of the interview question, Anil, I want to copy a file in the multifile system. Instead of m underscore cp, I used only general cp. If I put enter, my command will not fail. It will copy partially. It will copy partially. No issue. There will be no command issue. It will not throw any issue, but it will copy partially. If you are trying to copy 1 million records, right, there you can copy only 100 records or 5 lakh records, but not 1 lakh, 1 million records, right? So this is our m commands, very important. If in the question, in the interview level, Anil, can you rate yourself for Unix out of 10 means you, right? So when you rate for 5, when you rate for 10, even you rate for 8 also, you will be getting all these questions based upon his availability. If you go for interview, right, so within 1 hour you need to test on GD, you need to test on Unix, you need to just test on Oracle, right? So based upon that, you will be getting a lot of questions. Of course, one hour is not a small time in order to test us. It's a lot amount of time, right? So and one more thing, so Anil, out of 10 questions, I answered 6 or 8. That is well and much. That is well and much. And I bet you out of 10 questions, 6 to 7 questions are content what we have discussed only. Other than that, nothing. Even M commands, even our GD, only because that is a tool. This is a tool. What is the tool need? What doing? You need to have that exposure. That's it. That's it. Right? Clear, guys? Any questions? Okay. So if we don't have any questions, we can leave the session. But tomorrow we'll start our air commands. Air commands also, it will take around 40-15 minutes. As I mentioned, CP command, air object to CP. There we are having some creation of tags. I mentioned. So if you want to migrate your code from dev to prod, right? I will be providing the tag to the migration team. Okay, migration team. So how to create the tag? What is the syntax? How to remove that tag? If I remove the tag, what about the internal objects that is present, right? So we'll discuss everything, whatever needed, right? We'll discuss. No need to worry. Okay, guys. If you don't have any questions, you can leave the session for today. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye.